Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to your Trailblazer game day right here with the Fan Sports Network. Caden Formaster and Keith Curtis with you here this afternoon for Trailblazer Homecoming. Utah Tech Trailblazers taking on Eastern Kentucky Colonels this lovely afternoon. I was going to say evening, but really it's late afternoon right now. An earlier kickoff, 6 o'clock kickoff for us here tonight at Greater Zion Stadium. And I know with it being homecoming, the festivities going on, this is a game that everyone's really excited for.
There is. There's a lot of excitement out there, Caden. We got a lot of people out tailgating today, and just a great environment here for homecoming, as you mentioned this week. A lot of people are excited. A lot of people come into town, and our Trailblazers they score a lot of points. The game's a lot of fun to watch. They lost a heartbreaker last week, and I think Coach Peterson's got things rolling on the offensive side, and a lot of fun and excitement going on.
Absolutely, and you talk about that offense rolling. Kobe Tracy, even though they lost, Kobe Tracy wins a co-offensive player of the week for the conference, and the other guy that won it was, the quarterback for the team that won. So it was a great quarterback battle between both teams. And, yes, they came up just short. It was a 2-point conversion away from getting the win over North Alabama. But with it being right there that close, it's definitely showing the promise that this team has to go out and compete and play well. And they were playing well. And as you say, they did have to take the loss and come home there. But they're looking to course correct with that today against Eastern Kentucky.
Well, you think about it, too. They went on the road, and you know how hard it is to win on the road in another team's home environment and everything that way. And to be that close makes for a little bit tougher flight home, for the Trailblazers. But, I think they can take some wins from that. And the offense really has been the bright spot here in the early part of the season. And I think tonight we're going to see a lot of fun. The ball's going to be in the air a lot. We're going to see some some fireworks going off. It's going to be a lot of fun.
It is going to be a lot of fun. And one thing we need to talk about is just how good this Eastern Kentucky team is. We were talking about before we got on the air here what this team's been able to accomplish so far, especially with with their quarterback position. He has been absolutely phenomenal. Talking about Parker McKinney, and as we had talked about, the stats that he's putting up have been great throughout his career.
Yeah, he last week threw for over a couple hundred yards, and he's over 13,000 yards throughout his career at Eastern Kentucky. So this guy knows how to throw the ball, get the ball in the air, and so we're going to have to be defensively ready for that. And, when you have that kind of experience, too, in the pocket, who, commands that leadership and stuff, that they'll go as he goes. And he's obviously proven he's very good at what he does.
He is. He's very good at what he does. And we'll be able to see him in action tonight as well as the rest of the Eastern Kentucky crew, but as well on that defense. And we'll see if this is just one-game fluke or not. But Logan Blake, 21 tackles last week, I should say, not yesterday, last week for Eastern Kentucky, which that in itself is an amazing stat.
Well, he's no fluke, and he's got 89 tackles on the year. He'll probably, if he stays healthy, probably end up close to 130 the way this is going. And, this guy flies around. He had 3 tackles for a loss. He also had a sack and a fumble recovery. This guy flies everywhere. So he's going to be one that you'll hear a lot. Rod will call his name a lot on defense, I think, tonight. But he's no fluke. He's the real deal. So they're going to have to scheme for him for sure.
Yeah. One of the guys, speaking of defense, let's switch over to the Trailblazer side that's been having a great season so far is Devin Perkins. And I got a chance to catch up with Devin Perkins earlier this week and talk to him a little bit more, getting to know him and about his game and what he's doing right now as a Trailblazer. So here we go. Devin Perkins, caught up with him earlier this week. Here with Devin Perkins, defense for the Utah Tech Trailblazers. Devin, man, how's it going? How you doing?
I'm doing good. Just going day by day.
That's good. Hey, we're halfway through the season. We're really more than halfway through the season, right? Getting ready for homecoming coming up this week. Season so far, looking back, improvements. What have you been able to work on so far?
Definitely my confidence on the field. I know coming into the year I had that confidence. Just may have got shook early on in the year, but just bounce back and just play with ultimate confidence.
So let's talk a little bit. I want to get to know you a little bit more personally, and I'm sure our viewers kind of want to know more about you. Tell me kind of where you're from, where you grew up, that kind of stuff.
I'm from Las Vegas, Nevada. I grew up on the east side of Las Vegas and just played football all my life. And
So did you know much about Southern Utah? Being from Vegas, it's not all that far away. St. George isn't all that far, but Vegas is kind of its own little bubble, right?
Yeah, I had no clue before they came and offered me in high school. And then I came here, fell in love with the place, and that's why I'm here now.
Do you so far enjoy Southern Utah in your time?
I
here?
do. It's nice and peaceful. Yeah.
It's a little different than Las Vegas, right?
Yeah, it was a culture shock for sure. Yeah.
For sure. Did you play any other sports in high school?
I ran track.
Ran track? What events did you do in track?
I ran the 100. That was my baby.
Was it?
Yeah.
What was your best time?
I ran a 10.66 my junior year before the COVID.
That's
hit.
rolling, man.
Yeah.
That's pretty quick. I was a distance runner. I could not do those sprints, man. But
I can't do distance.
I could do those in that endurance. I could not do the sprints.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So track and football. I mean, those correlate pretty well, right?
Yeah,
What did you take from the track that you were able to kind of put towards your football game?
Definitely got me way faster on the field. I'm way more agile. Like I said, I'm way faster. I feel like running track made me a better player as a whole.
When you were in high school, were you a two-way player or were you always on defense and corner?
I was more of a defense player. They probably throw me in for like a 9 route because I was fast. So yeah, I was more of a defensive player.
What would you say is your favorite play to make? Whether it's, I mean, obviously an interception's got to be up there, right? Or is it just kind of closing someone down all night long and not even getting a target?
Those are more of the boring games, kind of like last game. I had like 2 targets last game, so it was kind of boring. I like the action. But definitely my first sack I ever had was like a different feeling because I'm not used to sacking people.
That's not normally your job, right?
Yeah.
When did that happen? When did that come from?
My first sack was when we played Fort Lewis last year. Was it last year? I believe it was last year or the year before.
Last year or year before?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the year before, Fort Lewis. Yeah.
For sure. Last game against North Alabama came up just a little bit short, kind of a bit of a heartbreaker. Tell me kind of the feeling in the locker room afterwards. I know you guys were right there. You guys were close.
Yeah, we're right there. Coach Pete put his full trust in the defense and our offense. That's why we went for 2, because we know we're that good of a team. We can make that play. As far as defense, we just had to close out on tackles and just communicate better.
Do you feel like with homecoming right around the corner this week, you guys feel like you guys are ready to go and show Trailblazer Nation what's up for homecoming?
Yeah, definitely. Special week. Just like I said, it all correlates back to communication, eyes, and just making our tackles on defense.
Eastern Kentucky, I'm sure you guys have started the film study. I'm sure you guys are watching a little bit more on them. What are you seeing from those guys? What are those guys bringing to the field?
They got a good receiving core. They got a great back and a good quarterback. He's a smart quarterback. We just got to make our plays and key in on our calls and trust our techniques.
Absolutely. I know that I'm excited to see you guys this Saturday right here, home game. How's it feel to be playing at home?
It's a different feeling. I love it. The fans show up. They give a great crowd, and just being home just
not a lot of home games this year, though.
Yeah, it's a great home feeling. So.
But it's nice to have it. All right, there you go again, Devin Perkins. Thank you for joining me, man.
Sir, thank you.
Devin Perkins, a great interview and a great player, even better person, and always good to catch up with him, talk a little bit of football, and ask him a little bit more about his life.
It's nice to get to know and understand these athletes, where they come from, and what makes them tick and those kind of things. And sounds like he's a great young man, and, just wish him nothing but success throughout the rest of the year.
Absolutely. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to get into our Coordinator's Corner interview, talk to Coach Hughes. So we'll get to that on the other side here on the Fan Sports Network.
Everyone loves local sports and, of course, loves ice cream. And the best ice cream on the planet is Handel's Homemade Ice Cream. Open late every day of the week with dozens of delicious flavors. So after your favorite team wins, head over to Handel's to celebrate with locations in St. George, Layton, and Woods Cross.
Got a project at work or around the house? Well, think Bucks Ace Hardware. Think Bucks for all the top brands like DeWalt, Milwaukee, and Stihl. Plus, Bucks has the best sporting goods department. You've got to see their gun department. It's stocked with a great selection of guns and ammo and accessories. 2 locations at the Dino Crossing in St. George or State Street in Hurricane.
Red Rock Real Estate has over 200 professional realtors in the St. George area that specialize in the local market. Whether you're buying your dream home, looking for an investment property, or want to sell your home for the highest amount, the Red Rock Real Estate team is here to assist you. Get started now by visiting redrockrealestate.com.
Nets on Fire is the place to hoop in Southern Utah. Elevate your game with group or individual training with elite coaching. Hustle to netsonfire.org to learn more and see why so many rising stars hoop at Nets. Nets on Fire, building champions on and off the court.
When it comes to your child's teeth, Dr. Cody and his experienced staff at Johnson Pediatric Dentistry are game changers. So when it comes to checkups, a toothache, or any problem with your kid's teeth, call experienced veteran Dr. Cody Johnson at Johnson Pediatric Dentistry, 628-0511.
Welcome into the Coordinator's Corner here in Trailblazer Game Day with Coach John Hughes, co-offensive coordinator and offensive lines coach. Coach, welcome back in, second time here in the studio with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Really excited to be here. Appreciate your guys' support.
Yeah, of course. Hey, let's talk a little bit. I want to backtrack to last week a little bit. Tell us a little bit about that decision right at the tail end. You guys go for 2. Doesn't quite work out for you. You know, you look at hindsight sometimes and you think, man, hindsight, we could have done this, we could have done this. But just tell me about the confidence you have in your guys. I know it didn't quite pan out, but I know you had some confidence to be able to go for that play.
Yeah, I would say the first thing is just to go back to our mindset as a program, right, from our head coach down. And in those situations, we have a meeting every Thursday. We're going to have it again today in preparation for Eastern Kentucky. And we go through game day situations and scenarios. And the number one thing that we talk about is that we're going to be aggressive. And a lot of that stems back to the confidence we have in our players. And so is hindsight 20/20? Absolutely. You can look at a situation like that and the plays that decide the game are very easy to pinpoint, but throughout the course of 60 minutes, there's a lot of plays that could have decided that game in different situations and scenarios. And so when the game's on the line like that, just looking at the situation, number one, we know who we are as a program. Our head coach is very confident in our team and who we have on the field. And so it wasn't a hard decision at that point. We're coming from behind. We're playing on the road. And so when he made that decision to go for 2, everybody on the headsets and on the sidelines said, absolutely, let's do it. And so we made the call that we thought was the best in that situation. And it fell short. But I'll tell you, I had a ton of belief in Kobe Tracy. Absolutely proud and ecstatic about the way that young man's playing. It's been awesome to watch him grow and develop. And Billy Ray Stutzman, our quarterback's coach, is doing a great job with him. And we told the guys on Monday in our offensive meeting, if we're going to throw the ball to somebody when the game's on the line, I wanted to go to Ricky Johnson. And so really proud of him. And you know what? Those guys made a play, and it ended the way it ended. But we're proud of the way our guys fought back. And, hey, man, that 6 inches different in that situation, and we're having a different conversation. So, again, confident in the call. Love Coach Peterson for having confidence in us as a staff and in our team. And it just didn't go our way. But we'll continue to be aggressive. And like I said, we talked about it each week, and that's always going to be our mindset.
And I'm right there with you as just a fan watching the game when the decision to go for 2 was made. I said, they're moving the ball great. Why not?
Yeah.
So same thing, you put the game on the line, but personally, I'm a fan of that. I don't mind going for it in that situation. So it was a really good game. I'm glad you brought up Kobe Tracy.
Yeah.
So Kobe Tracy was voted as the offensive player of the week for the conference.
Yep.
And Bo Sparks freshman of the week for the conference as well. So you guys are starting to get some accolades built up in that category as far as some of your offensive players. What's it like for those guys when they hear that news of getting some of those being recipients of those awards?
Yeah, I'll start with Kobe. Again, man, we're just so proud of him and who he is and the way he's continued to battle and progress. And I love the confidence he's playing with. I'm an offensive line coach, okay? So I don't communicate a lot with Kobe and as far as coverages and pass concepts and things like that.
Sure.
So I'm kind of a step back. And obviously I've got my hands on the offense and I have knowledge of what's going on, but I've got my eyes on those 5 guys up front. But, I'll tell you, we're moving the ball down the field with that last drive, and it's 1st and 10. I want to say we're around like the 40-yard line. And, we're doing a good job managing time. I think we still had 1 timeout. Kobe drops back. They rush 3. He's got tons of time, and they did a good job in coverage. And rather than try to create, Kobe moves around the pocket really well, has great pocket presence, and then he throws the ball out of bounds. And we had 2nd and 10. And I just was so proud of that maturity level. And he's getting really well coached, and he's building confidence in himself. And so it's just nice for him to see a lot of his hard work pay off. And I just can't say enough positive things about the young man. I'm really proud of him. So it's nice for him to be recognized on that level, in that stage, because he sure as heck deserves it. Bo Sparks, wow, man, just a playmaker. And I'll tell you what, he works his tail off throughout the week. He's very conscientious. He's always in our meeting rooms with coaches, studying film, studying coverage. And what's great about him is he goes out there on Saturdays and competes at a really high level, but he's doing that on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. And so you can see the hard work that he's putting into it as far as his preparation and the way that he treats practice. And then he goes out there and gets it done on Saturdays. He's fun to watch. And he's an elite competitor, man. He wants to go out there and work hard. So again, really nice to see him get his accolades, because he sure as heck has earned it. And so a lot of those guys are spreading confidence to the rest of our team. And I think a lot of guys on our team believe in those too. And so it's nice for them to be seen, like you've said, in front of the whole conference. And so hopefully we can just keep that momentum going offensively.
Let's talk about Eastern Kentucky coming up this Saturday. And in preparation for that, what are you starting to see from the Eastern Kentucky defense as you're looking at film from those guys over the season so far?
You know, one thing I think to note about Eastern Kentucky, I don't know anything about their staff, right? Gosh, man, I had to look up and see who they are, what they're doing, because they're such a new team for us. But you put their film on and you start watching them, and the first thing you notice is that they're very well coached. Okay, so one thing that I see as an offensive line coach when I'm looking at how they fit the run, what pressures they bring, those guys are where they're supposed to be doing what they're supposed to be doing, and they're very disciplined defense. There's a little bit of solace in that, because you can at least predict where guys are going to end up. Not saying that that's an advantage or disadvantage, but sometimes when you're playing a team that's a little undisciplined, it's like, oh man, well, when they bring that pressure, I hope that's how they make it look, because that's how we've been practicing it. With these guys, you could tell they're really well coached. They're disciplined. They've got talent all over the field. They're long in the secondary. They can run. They have speed in their front 6 or 7. They've got defensive linemen that have length and athleticism. They know how to rush the passer. They know how to fit their gap. They play with good pad level. They've got a couple linebackers that can run. They've got a transfer, number 11, who's a grad transfer for them. I believe he transferred from an NAIA school, but he's just a playmaker, man. And a lot of respect for the way he plays. He runs all over the field. He'll hit you. So they're going to be really well prepared for us. They're really well coached. And I'm excited for our guys and the opportunity that we have to play against a sound defense that's going to make good decisions, that's going to force us to take care of the football and to play within our scheme, both up front, at the running back position, at the quarterback position, and at the receiver position. We're all going to have to do our part, our 1/11th, in order to have success against this team. Now, that being said, I think we can, and I have confidence going into this game, but we definitely have our work cut out for us, and I'm excited to watch what happens on Saturday.
I think we're all excited to see what happens, and with it being homecoming, I know that adds an extra level of excitement for the fans, and hopefully for the players as well, and maybe, hey, for the coaches as well. I think you guys are probably in on that homecoming hype as well, right?
Yeah. First, nice to be home and play in front of our home crowd, and it's great for these young men. I've been here since our staff got here, so since 2019, and it's just really nice. And we're really appreciative of all the support we get, not only from the student body, but from the community, from everybody who puts their effort into making a week like homecoming special. I know our guys really appreciate it. Like you said, as a staff member, we appreciate it. It is very exciting to look up in the stands and see a ton of people there that are out there supporting our young men, because at the end of the day, I think this game is about the players. And I think this college experience is about them. College football is about them. And so the way that our community and our school and our university shows up on Saturdays for us is awesome. And we're really appreciative for that effort. And we're really excited to see how it looks on Saturday.
I'm excited too. Coach, thank you for stopping by Coordinator's Corner today.
Absolutely. Appreciate you having me.
There you go, Coach Hughes in your Coordinator's Corner. And we couldn't be more happy to have him join us and talk a little bit about Trailblazer football and a little bit about that offensive side. I know he's obviously being the offensive line coach as well. He's got a lot of love for those big guys up front. We can't get it done without him.
I played a little line in my college days as well as Caden, and you really form a connection with your line coach, and he obviously cares about those young men and their growth, and just does a great job with them.
Absolutely. Fantastic job. Thank you for joining us here in the Trailblazer Game Day Show, brought to you by Bucks Ace Hardware and built by Bucks Ace Hardware. You can visit them in their 3 Southern Utah locations. More coming up after the break. We talked with Javian Lofton, and we're going to talk with him when we come back after these messages.
Nets on Fire is the place to hoop in Southern Utah. Elevate your game with group or individual training with elite coaching. Hustle to netsonfire.org to learn more and see why so many rising stars hoop at Nets. Nets on Fire, building champions on and off the court.
Need an appliance or two? AWP's got you. Check out the remodeled expansive showroom, highlighting the Cafe series with colors like matte black, matte white, and modern glass. Make your kitchen stand out. Come see the local boys at AWP across the freeway from the Bloomington Walmart.
First Ace Hardware is conveniently located in St. George on the corner of Bluff Street and St. George Boulevard with 30,000 square feet of lawn and garden, paint, tools, fabrics, sporting goods, and the most complete nut and bolt section in town. Hearst General Store, the Big Ace store on Bluff and on Main in Cedar City. Red Rock Real Estate has over 200 professional realtors in the St. George area that specialize in the local market. Whether you're buying your dream home, looking for an investment property, or want to sell your home for the highest amount, the Red Rock Real Estate team is here to assist you. Get started now by visiting redrockrealestate.com.
Welcome back in, everybody, here to Trailblazer Game Day, getting you ready for the Utah Tech Trailblazers taking on Eastern Kentucky University coming up here in just a little bit. But as we get into the remaining homecoming festivities, we look out the windows over here with the tailgate going on down there. Plenty of people and tents, and we were talking about it before we started the show. We're pretty happy how many people are showing up for the tailgate. It's a party down there for sure.
It's been a great turnout. Of course, you couldn't ask for much better weather for us down here in Southern Utah. The end of October, and it's snowing up in Salt Lake and all the bad weather up there. We got great weather here, and just so exciting to see the local community and those come together and really just take over the whole area, the whole block over here, and just got stuff going on out on the lawn and tailgating, and it's just there's a lot of spirit out there right now.
Absolutely, and we love to see it, and we're excited to see what that translates to when the game starts up here in just a little bit. We're about 40 minutes away or so from kickoff, but had the chance to talk with Javian Lofton and get his thoughts on the season and get to know him a little bit better, one of the great Trailblazer receivers that we have with us here. So let's get to it. Javian Lofton.
Here with Javian Lofton, receiver for the Utah Tech Trailblazers. Javian, hey, good game this last game. I know you guys came up just short, but you yourself had over 100 yards receiving. One big one. How's it feel when you get those big returns?
I mean, it's expected, so just doing my job.
I like the confidence, man. The confidence is key for sure. Tell me about right now the feeling of having Kobe Tracy back there. You guys are starting to roll a little bit more. Tell me about the camaraderie that you guys are starting to build.
Yeah, me and Kobe, we got good chemistry. So, we're making sure that before or after practice, we're doing the things that we need to do, make sure that we can get our timing right together, and overall just, connect and do what we can on the field, do what's best for the team.
So tell me a little bit more about yourself. You're a California guy, right?
Yes, sir.
Southern California?
Yes, sir.
What's it like as far as the culture shift from Southern California to Southern Utah?
A lot hotter for sure.
That's true.
I recognize that in the summer.
Yeah.
Overall, well, I came from a different school, so it's different. I didn't come from California.
Right.
But as far as culture, just getting adjusted to a new team, a new offense, it was a complete shift for me. I was at a different place for the past 3 years. So, I'm liking it so far. I've loved it so far out here, and I'm just here to be the best teammate I can.
And it's definitely, like I say, it's a lot hotter, but we're getting to some cooler weather for sure up
Definitely.
ahead. Back in the day, high school, tell me, besides football, what else were you guys doing? Were you running track? Were you doing any other sports?
Yes, so I was also a 4x4, 110 hurdler, and 300 hurdler.
Man, just a little bit of everything.
Just a little bit of everything.
What was your best time in the 100?
The 110, I believe I ran a 14:75.
Hey, there you go.
And the 300, I ran a 39, I think. I don't remember.
Plus the hurdles. You got to remember,
38, yeah.
there's hurdles thrown in there as
Yeah.
well. I tried those 300 hurdles one time. It did not go well.
It's a
but
man's race for sure.
I was a distance runner, so running some of those, those 300 races were not,
Yeah, you got
were not
the
in the
distance
cards
stuff.
for me. So that's awesome, though. Yeah, right now, I mean, obviously, you guys coming off of a tough loss, but you've had some good wins along the road. That Stephen F. Austin game, how'd it feel to get that win at home?
I feel great, just get us back rolling, get us back on our feet, do it back at home, definitely, take care of our house. But, that's the standard all the time. We want to take care of our house, Anybody that comes here is our house, so we always got to take care of it.
That's what you're looking forward to this week, right?
Yes.
It's homecoming especially, so this
Absolutely.
one's a really big one as far as home games go. Is there a different mentality in the locker room for those home games?
I would say that the standard is always the same, home or away. We have one objective, one goal is to win and play the hardest for 60 minutes.
Absolutely. Tell me about the coaches, especially since you guys have kind of a unique thing in the world of football of two, co-offensive coordinators.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like that's been helpful this year to be able to have a bunch of different guys to bounce some ideas off of and get the right training?
Absolutely. I think it's great, having coaches to bounce around from. There's always different opinions. There's just always different, ways or teaching ways. New coaching perspectives from both sides. So every coach is always giving their own pointers, and it's just always great to hear multiple perspectives.
Absolutely. Homecoming, of course, this big game against Eastern Kentucky. This is a team that, of course, Utah Tech hasn't seen before. But what are you seeing from them so far in preparation for this game?
Again, going into every week, we respect our opponent. So we're coming out and we're going to practice and play as hard as we can. And whoever plays the hardest is going to win the game.
I love it. All right, Javian, thank you for joining us here on Trailblazer Game Day, getting ready for kickoff here in just a little bit.
Yes, sir.
And best of luck.
Thank you.
Another great interview talking with one of our great Trailblazer athletes, and I know that he's obviously getting pumped for this game. He's been producing really well throughout this season, and I'm excited to see what he can bring to the field tonight.
Yeah, he's averaging almost 17 yards a catch on the year, and he's got a lot of explosive abilities, so it'll be fun if we can get the ball to him, see what he can do out in space, and make a few guys miss.
And between him, we talked to him, and I did actually get a chance to catch up with Bo Sparks and talk to him a little bit. Now, I ran into him the same time I was talking with Javian Lofton and Devin Perkins, and talked to him a little bit because he also received an award as freshman of the week, his second Freshman of the Week award for the conference for UAC. So another congrats to Bo Sparks, getting it twice this season already. I mean, that just proves what a powerhouse he is as a freshman receiver, making some big plays at North Alabama. And he's another guy I expect to see making some really big plays here tonight.
Well, and as a freshman, it usually takes you a few weeks to get acclimated to a little bit, the speed factor of going from high school to Division I football, and then just to see that, the maturity and the growth that he's made over the last few weeks. I think he's going to have a great second half of the season, and I really like the direction that the offense is going. I think we're going to see a lot of points tonight. It's going to be fun.
It should be fun. This is an offense that really knows how to move the ball. We talked about Kobe Tracy as far as being one of those guys that brings a lot to the table here. Last week, he was 26 of 40 for 397 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. And give credit to the front line as well. They only allowed 1 sack, so they gave him time to get in there and do what he needed to do and make those plays. And obviously he made those plays over and over and over again all night long. I hope to see the same thing here tonight, see Kobe Tracy moving that football.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I mean, anytime a team has to come from multiple time zones to play, you sometimes see a residual effect from that. So it's going to be interesting to see, how they travel, Eastern Kentucky, how they travel. And, they know that this offense can put up yards and they can score a lot of points. We're averaging just under 30 points a game on the year. And the last few weeks, we've really been putting the ball in the end zone. So if it gets into a shootout, who knows how it's, they're going to, be able to handle that.
Yeah, and I mean, talking with Coach Hughes, we talked about the points that they're scoring versus points that they're allowing, and that's definitely one of those things that they're going to have to pay attention to, is making sure that they're holding them back on the defensive side. So we're getting ready to wrap things up from our side of Trailblazer Game Day as we're getting ready for kickoff Trailblazers against Eastern Kentucky. And we're going to be sending it over to Rod Zundel now. He's going to carry the torch from here. Thank you for joining us, and we're sending it over to Rod.
Hey, we all brothers, we all family. Let's go. Family on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Welcome to Trailblazer Kickoff, presented by TDS, Internet, TV, Phone.
Let's go! Tonight, it's the culmination of a great homecoming week here at Utah Tech. Trailblazers hosting Eastern Kentucky for the first time. Utah Tech looking to bounce back after last week's heartbreaker at North Alabama. To the end zone, knocked away! The two-point conversion attempt with 31 seconds left falling incomplete, and the Trailblazers left Florence, Alabama 1-1 in the United Athletic Conference. It's a bounce-back game tonight to wrap up homecoming week here in St. George.
And welcome inside Greater Zion Stadium. We're about 30 minutes away from kickoff. Utah Tech and Eastern Kentucky Colonels. Hi there, everybody.
Rod Zundel here. Glad to have you aboard this evening as we get ready for the culmination of homecoming week. Rod Zundel along with Devin Osborne. And if you can turn that microphone down, that'd be awesome. This is a crucial game for both teams. As Eastern Kentucky, they're tied for first place at 2-0 in the United Athletic Conference, and Utah Tech only a game back at 1-1, so there's still title hopes, aspirations for both teams.
Yeah, on the Eastern Kentucky side, being tied for first place, they need this game to kind of elevate them up in the standings. And, for Utah Tech, this is a program-changing win right here. Program statement win, like Coach Paul Peterson said. So, Utah Tech ends up getting this win, that'll be big time. And also, Eastern Kentucky looks to get their third win in the UAC season.
Now, when you look at this game, of course, it's a team game, but there's a monster matchup brewing on both sides of the ball. Let's start with Utah Tech, the preseason conference defensive player of the year, Cyrus Webster.
Cyrus Webster, he's just been on a tear this whole season. I mean, he's just wrecking havoc for opponents. Cyrus has to get in that groove tonight and kind of put the Eastern Kentucky quarterback in that whole kind of offense off the wall right there. I mean, Eastern Kentucky quarterback, he threw 3 picks last week, so hopefully Cyrus can call some record. And, he's also getting ready for a record-breaking game, hopefully.
Yeah, one more sack, and he ties for the all-time record here at Utah Tech in the Division I history. On the other side of the ball, you have the conference preseason offensive player of the year, quarterback Parker McKinney. Boy, he's the real deal.
No, he's a dual threat. He can make it happen on his feet and
also in back in the pocket. I mean, he can just sit back there and deliver darts down the field to his wideouts to make big plays. And, cool thing about him, he's leading the whole nation as a quarterback in terms of yards, over 13,000 yards.
For FCS.
For FCST. And, just putting a career together like that, and he's continuing on to do that today and for the rest of the season.
Yeah, he is Eastern Kentucky's all-time leading passer. And there's talk that he may get his name called in the NFL draft come April.
That would be big time. I mean, you just seen the Bears just won with a Division II quarterback last week, so, this might be a big opportunity for him.
All right, so, of course, the Trailblazers coming off a heartbreaker last week. They had a final drive in the final 1 minute and 34 seconds. Had a chance to tie it up either with an extra point or go for 2 in the win. They went for 2. So close. Great play by the defensive back. Colby maybe a little bit late on the pass, but they came away with a tough loss in North Alabama that would have put them 2-0 in conference play.
I know. I mean, you got to look at it from Coach Peterson's side, going away, being in a different environment, stuff like that. That's a big motivational play. And, he ended up going for 2 when a lot of people probably said you should have kicked the field goal, things like that. But, you got to like the aggressiveness of Coach Peterson.
Ricky Bobby, you don't even know who he is. From Talladega Nights, either you're first or last, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's take a look back at last week's game at North Alabama and Florence, Alabama, and the sounds of the game, and this had some intense moments in that second half. Let's go win a ball game! And welcome inside Brawley Stadium here on the campus of North Alabama. Utah Tech and North Alabama coming up next.
throw again. Here comes the pressure. He's going deep across the middle. Diving to make the catch. Javian Lofton inside the 5. Bo Sparks under it. Makes the catch at the 40. 1st and 10 at their own 1-yard line. Breaks into the secondary. Ronnie Walker Jr. across the 15. Out to the 20-yard line. That's a 19-yard run. And here they come from the left side. Tracy. It's the catch at the 30-yard line and out of bounds. Out in the flat, caught by Ricky Johnson. He's going to have a touchdown. Tracy. Keith Davis is there. Caught, 40-yard line. That is a 16-yard connection. What a move by Javian Lofton. 3rd and goal from the 1-yard line. Fights for the goal line. Touchdown. Slant pass to Ricky Johnson to midfield. And he turns it into a big catch and run. Rolling to the right. Into the end zone. Caught. Touchdown. Touchdown, Bo Sparks. Got to get in the end zone. They rush 3. Across the middle. Caught. Bo Sparks. Touchdown. What does Paul Peterson do? Extra point to tie or the 2-point conversion? So here we go. Kobe Tracy in the gun. Looks left. Guns it to the end zone. Knocked away. Oh, Ricky Johnson was there. The pass was a little bit late, and it was knocked away. So the Trailblazers come to Florence, Alabama. They'll have a long plane ride home tonight.
Well, we were expecting to have a long plane ride home that night, but circumstances beyond our control. We had to stay an extra night in Florence, and we didn't get home till Sunday afternoon. But when you look at that game, there were 2 99-yard drives by this Utah Tech offense. They were down, and they showed a lot of stuff by coming back. 2 99-yard drives.
I mean, that's perseverance on the offensive side. Coach Tui just die on the plays, especially to have long drives. I mean, 2 99-yard drives. A lot of people don't get to do that in their whole life, and especially do that at 2 games. I mean, it shows the Trailblazer offense can be on an upward trend right now, and hopefully they can carry that on today.
Kobe Tracy, a career-high 397 yards, career-high 3 touchdowns in the game. Bo Sparks also nearly 100 yards. They had a couple of touchdowns. For that, Kobe was named the co-offensive player of the week in the UAC. He was the co-offensive player with North Alabama's quarterback, who had over 100 yards rushing. And Bo Sparks, for the second time this season, was the conference freshman player of the week. So they had a lot of success last week, and they're going to need that tonight because this is a better team than North Alabama.
No, big time. I mean, Kobe Tracy, his career here has been kind of a little rocky, but he's finally finding his stride, and it feels like he's connecting with his wideouts really well. I mean, Ricky Johnson, Bo Sparks, especially Javian Lofton down the field.
He had over 100 yards receiving as well.
So you see the offense kind of accumulating and really setting that trend, and hopefully they can keep that pace going in this game.
One thing that didn't happen, the defense didn't get a takeaway for only the second time this year. They had 12 takeaways in 5 games, and then they didn't have one last week.
Well, Western Kentucky's quarterback, he threw 3 picks last week, so hopefully this defense can get after him. Hopefully he gets off target and things like that, and our corners and safeties and linebackers can make some plays.
Okay, so we've talked about last week's game and kind of broke it down a little bit, but let's go to the expert, shall we?
Yes, sir.
Let's go to Coach Paul Peterson. He breaks down last week's game in Florence, Alabama against the Lions in this week's edition of Film Session.
Just wanted to show you, this is one of the 2 plays I'm going to show, the key to the game here. We've got 1:40 left. It's 4th down and 3 here, so really money down in distance. It was fun. There was a lot of back and forth in this game, and this was one of the, like I said, the critical plays in the game. And 4th and 3, we got the right coverage. We were manning our guys up here. They're bringing a little unbalanced set to fake the jet motion. Well, we rock and roll the safety down to be able to take care of this, and we get the corner here in the safety position, and you'll see that we're in the right position. We've got everybody where they need to be. I think the quarterback doesn't see our backside corner coming over the top here, and you can see he just takes his eyes off the ball just for a second to find the man. Look, we're in really good coverage. He's going to get over the top of that ball, and this receiver makes a really good job of adjusting, coming back to the ball. In the game, I thought this ball was potentially going to be intercepted, and you can see just Scooter Jackson just gets his head around just a little bit too late, and they made a big play. And that being said, after they made this catch and this touchdown, we had an opportunity to go down and score. We scored and still had, with a minute left, we had 1 timeout. Definitely wanted to be aggressive and go for 2 here. We had a play that we like. It's a good play. We hadn't seen Alabama with this type of coverage. You can see that they've got extra hats on everybody. They got 4 over 3 defenders here, so our windows are going to be a little bit tighter in this situation. Looking at it again, maybe we needed to have a run play call with their light box here, but we got this pass play dialed up, and Kobe does a good job getting his eyes where he needs to. You can see that defender gets his hand on the ball. Normally you get a guy that he'd squeeze on this, and he continues to expand, and he actually falls into the play. You can see that window's there for a split second. Kobe's just a teeny bit late, and he gets his hands on it a little bit late, and we didn't go for 2. We wanted to take a chance and give our guys a chance to go for it to win the game and get out of there. But you can see it's pretty intense here over here on the sideline. Guys are excited for this situation, just not able to execute at the level that we needed to. This is another play. I thought we were 0 for 2 on 4th down, and they were 4 for 4. Another opportunity for us, bringing a big pressure right here. Our guys get on the right hats and give Kobe enough time. And this matchup we love every single time, and we always think that when we have this opportunity, we want to be able to take a shot. You can see Bo Sparks does a good job down here too. That we got basically everybody open. If it doesn't look good over here, but Ricky Johnson on this route's been money for us. We just a little bit too long. The defender does a really good job getting his hand on Ricky's outstretched hand here to not give us a chance here. But we like that matchup. We're always going to be aggressive and take a shot. We do a really good job of picking up their pressure and put the ball in the spot where we thought we could make a play, but just out of reach. Really good job right here. Simple pass concept. Kobe's really we got a shallow cross here. He's really this isn't his first read here. He's looking at this combination up here at the top, doesn't like it, drops his eyes, is aggressive, and you can tell Ricky does a really good job of running a good route. The guy takes a chance and misses, and we're going to score a touchdown here. So really one of our touchdowns, really fun to see. Again, great protection on that play. We struggled earlier in the game on a 4th and 3 down here. This is, I think, a 3rd down here, but really good pass concept here. We've got a one-on-one matchup that we really like. If we don't like it, we're going to bring some guys across the field to get in the vision of the quarterback. Again, we've got really good protection. Kobe's really patient. Okay, you can see that we don't like that route that's taken away, and we're going to sneak Bo back here in the back of the end zone. Bo is the freshman player of the week. Again, this is his 2nd time. 2 touchdown catches. This is one of them. He had a big touchdown catch later on in the game. Really fun for our guys. This is the first play again. But going back and forth in this game, I thought our guys fought. We got better. Just unfortunate that they made one more play than us, and we're going to keep fighting.
All right, so you got to give Paul Peterson and the players, some credit. Going for the gusto. As a player in that situation, do you want to go for it and win and get out of Dodge?
Yeah, I mean, look at the momentum they had coming into that game and then going throughout the game. As a player, you just want to end it right then and there, and especially how high flying that offense was, 299-yard drives. You think you can punch it in right there. So, I mean, as a player, yes.
Well, you're either going to win or you're going to lose. I mean, you can always second guess yourself, but you know what? Coach Peterson, and that's a trend, not just Coach Peterson, but that's a trend, not only in college football, but pro football. When you either go for it on 4th down and on the 50, or you go for 2 and the win, and you don't go for overtime. That's kind of been the trend in the last couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the analytics side that's coming out of football and things like that. But as a player and especially as coach, Coach Peterson, he's a very aggressive coach, and he wants to win now. He wants to show his competitiveness and show his players that he believes in them. Especially, I mean, I know the O-line, Ty Hyde, and them ran over there, said, let's go for it and let's finish this game. And I know Coach Tui had a good play dialed up, and Coach Peterson, like he mentioned, they kind of brought out a different coverage that they haven't seen before. Yeah. But stuff like that happens, and you like you said, give them credit. But if we would never be talking like this if they would score, right?
No, we'd be saying, "Oh, what a great call! Yeah. An awesome way." We're all behind. No, but when they scored, we thought he was going to go for 2. So, you know what? You're looking pretty dapper today, by the way.
Thank you.
Okay? And you're not the only one, because this team, the fresh fit going on. They got some good-looking threads, and we're going to take a look at that as the Trailblazer kickoff show continues. Keith Davis, the wide receiver for the Trailblazers, goes on the hunt for the freshest fit of the team. That's when we come back to Greater Zion Stadium.
He's on the 30-yard line, the 20, the 10.
You wouldn't want an incomplete football game. So why use a website with incomplete listings of Southern Utah properties? SouthernUtahRealEstate.com is the most complete, most accurate, and most comprehensive property search in Washington County. Because we're not focused on everything, just on the part that we like the best. Find your Southern Utah home at SouthernUtahRealEstate.com.
Finley Hyundai, committed to high-quality service and sales for local drivers. Stress-free car buying guaranteed.
Got a project at work or around the house? Well, think Bucks Ace Hardware. Think Bucks for all the top brands like DeWalt, Milwaukee, and Stihl. Plus, Bucks has the best sporting goods department. You've got to see their gun department. It's stocked with a great selection of guns and ammo and accessories. 2 locations at the Dino Crossing in St. George or State Street in Hurricane.
We love giving back to our community, and over the years, we have provided vehicles for families in need, supported local charities, and helped train our first responders. Dealer Collision, your place for collision repair.
Local media has the biggest impact on your daily life. It's what's around you, what matters. And at Canyon Media, our goal is to deliver the very best in local entertainment, news, and media. From our award-winning radio stations like 99.9 Coney Country to Southern Utah's #1 source for local news, St. George News, Canyon Media, here for you.
It's any card for the win right now at Mountain America Credit Union, which means it's time to score some cash. Simply tap, swipe, or click checkout with any Mountain America debit or credit card to be entered into a weekly giveaway for up to $500, now until September 30th. Visit macu.com/anycard to learn how to earn extra entries or to open a new account today.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
And welcome back inside Greater Zion Stadium. The Utah Tech marching band out on the field, getting everybody ready for the homecoming game. Utah Tech 1-1 in conference play, and Eastern Kentucky coming in with a 2-0 record in conference play. So, crucial game tonight for both
teams with conference title aspirations. You got to win tonight, especially for Utah Tech if you want to keep those title aspirations alive. But been a great week, homecoming. It's always fun. You've been a part of 6 homecomings here, right?
Yeah, homecoming's a big time week. You know, you got so many things happening. You got Powder Puff going on. You got all these other activities, Miss Utah Tech.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just a fun week to be around the student body and around the community and all the alumni who come back.
Well, you know, Utah Tech's only have 4 home games this year, so they're spend a lot of time in airplanes and flying away. And one thing that Utah Tech does, a lot of teams do it, but some don't. Coach Peterson has them dress them up in some fine threads like that. You have to have a tie, so I wouldn't be allowed on the plane. So Keith Davis, the wide receiver, he wanted to find out who has the freshest fit, the best dresser on the team. So here's Keith Davis trying to find out who has the freshest fit on the trip to North Alabama.
Coming into North Alabama, we're going to see who's the freshest on the team. Okay, who you think's the freshest man on the team? Jamie. Okay.
I ain't gonna hold you.
All right. Well, who's the flyest on the team? Who's the freshest on the team?
Turn the camera right here.
Who you turning to? Jaden Sheridan. Okay.
Award winner.
All right. I'm too sexy for my shirt. Forrest, who do you think is the freshest man on the team?
I'm going to go with Keith Davis behind the camera, man.
Oh, that's who you
fly.
You know what I mean? And I do my little turn on the catwalk.
Hey, who you think's the freshest man on the team?
Talik Brown.
Talik Brown, you don't think you got it on?
I ain't got it on today.
Okay.
I'm too sexy for my hat.
Okay.
Tag hat.
Who you think's the freshest man on the team right now? Weekly? Brian Weekly? Let's see what you got on. Can I get a 360 for the camera?
Prime is in the next hour.
JD Sheridan? Okay, talk to him. What you got on?
I got on the unknowns. Nobody got them.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying?
Got you.
I got those.
What about you? Okay, cool plan.
Got the purple tie.
All right.
Nobody really got that. You know
All
what
right,
I'm
for
saying?
sure.
Paid like $15 for it.
All right, I'm liking it. I'm liking
And,
it.
you know, I got the blue with the inverted.
Yep,
You know what I'm
yep,
saying?
okay,
Gotta
it's
do
all
it.
good.
Gotta switch it up.
I am too sexy for my love. Too sexy for my love. Love's going to leave me. And I am too sexy for this song.
All right, some fine lookers right there on the plane ride to our opponent's city. And you know what? I got to say, they got nothing on you, my friend. I mean, look at you.
Oh, nah. I mean, I
Hold
really
on
got
a second. Hold on. There you go. Let everybody see.
Yeah.
You got purple, and that is a color that Coach Paul Peterson does not like because half the teams that we play are purple.
Well, but I had to match the tie. You know, you see you got the gray and the purple tie. I had to match it with the purple shirt. You know, it's all about the drip. It's all about the drip, bro.
About the drip. All right. I think you got the drip going.
Oh, you got the drip too. You got to show off the fit too.
Hey, this is redneck trying to dress it up. That's all I got. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back,
we'll hear Coach Peterson get the final word before we kick off Utah Tech and Eastern Kentucky.
He's on the 30-yard line, the 20, the 10.
You wouldn't want an incomplete football game. So why use a website with incomplete listings of Southern Utah properties? SouthernUtahRealestate.com is the most complete, most accurate, and most comprehensive property search in Washington County. Because we're not focused on everything, just on the part that we like the best. Find your Southern Utah home at SouthernUtahRealestate.com.
Finley Hyundai, committed to high-quality service and sales for local drivers. Stress-free car buying guaranteed.
Got a project at work or around the house? Well, think Bucks Ace Hardware. Think Bucks for all the top brands like DeWalt, Milwaukee, and Stihl. Plus, Bucks has the best sporting goods department. You've got to see their gun department. It's stocked with a great selection of guns and ammo and accessories. 2 locations at the Dino Crossing in St. George or State Street in Hurricane.
We love giving back to our community, and over the years, we have provided vehicles for families in need, supported local charities, and helped train our first responders. Dealer Collision, your place for collision repair.
Local media has the biggest impact on your daily life. It's what's around you, what matters. And at Canyon Media, our goal is to deliver the very best in local entertainment, news, and media. From our award-winning radio stations like 99.9 Coney Country to Southern Utah's #1 source for local news, St. George News, Canyon Media, here for you.
It's any card for the win right now at Mountain America Credit Union, which means it's time to score some cash. Simply tap, swipe, or click checkout with any Mountain America debit or credit card to be entered into a weekly giveaway for up to $500, now until September 30th. Visit macu.com/anycard to learn how to earn extra entries or to open a new account today.
All right, welcome back to Greater Zion Stadium. 8 minutes and counting until kickoff. Utah Tech and Eastern Kentucky for homecoming here for the Trailblazers. So it's time for the final word with the boss, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, here is Coach Paul Peterson as he gives us the final word before we kick it off tonight here in St. George.
The way you guys fought last week and took a chance to win it in the final 30 seconds and how they responded.
Yeah, I was really proud of our guys. That was a tough, hard match game. They played well. You know, they didn't make any mistakes or any turnovers, and they went for it on 4th down and got all of them. So they were able to stay on the field. We missed that 2-point conversion at the end, and they had a 4th and 3 that converted for a touchdown. So just a couple plays in the game that really defined it. But our guys came out and they were ready to play and were focused. We got better. We just didn't get the win.
with all of that going on, you still have a chance to accomplish your goal for a conference championship.
Sure.
And you're playing
teams.
a team that's 2-0, same position.
Yeah, they're a good football team. Eastern Kentucky's great. We got some really good teams in our conference. I think the margin of the win is very small for each team, and so really close matchups. And we're excited to play the last 4 games.
Do you talk about that in the locker room with your guys, saying, "Hey, our goal is still in sight"?
Yeah, I mean, our goal is to continue to get better, and it's one game at a time. You know, if that falls in place to be able to get that championship, that's going to be fantastic. But we're one game at a time right now.
Who are some of the guys that you were really impressed with that came up big last week?
Oh man, I think our 4 starting receivers played fantastic. You know, Javion came up with a 100-yard game with some big catches, and Keith Davis made some great catches as well, and Bo and Ricky just keep doing their thing. And obviously the way that the O-line protected and Kobe was able to find those guys and almost throw for 400 yards. That was a fantastic showing by those guys. Just a couple plays off.
I know this is a team game, but you've got the preseason defensive player of the year in Cyrus Webster, and then their quarterback's the preseason offensive player of the year going at each other.
Yeah, good matchup. You know, we hope Cyrus gets to him a few times and can get him uncomfortable back there. He's a really good quarterback. He stays calm. He's tall, makes all the throws, hits the check down when he needs to. It'll be a fun game. It'll be a challenge for our defense.
Homecoming week, a lot of festivities, a lot of distractions. Are they distractions?
No, I don't think so. I think it's fun to get our guys some exposure with the community. You know, we're going to have a parade out here, and we got a little trick-or-treating tonight, and, you know, allow our guys to have some fun with the community. I think that's important.
Yeah. You always say your goal is to get better. So how can you do that other than a win in this homecoming game?
Well, you got to come. You got to come to practice. We had a good week of practice. You got to come to work every day. We got to attack the weight room. We're still trying to stack good on top of each other, and now we got another opportunity in the game, one play at a time. And so, awesome to play at home. It's good to be home with the 4 games. This is our 3rd one, and so we're excited to be here.
Okay, moments away from kickoff, Utah Tech and Eastern Kentucky. Final words from you, boss.
Utah Tech just got to go out there and play good offensive ball, makes turnovers on the defensive side, and just frustrate that quarterback back there, and we'll have a good game.
If the Trailblazers are going to win, they've got to put pressure and make Parker McKinney, preseason offensive player of the year nomination, very uncomfortable. Then they got a chance. All right,
that is it. We are going to take a break and sign off here. Remember that coming up after this game, we'll have Trailblazer postgame show here on Trailblazer Sports Vision. But for now, we'll say so long, and in a couple of minutes, we will have the kickoff, Utah Tech and Eastern Kentucky on ESPN Plus and the Fan Sports Radio. See ya on the other side for kickoff.